Hi guys, I've really dipped my toes into the Hermes 2025 fall winter ready to wear collection, and this is a continuation of an item that I also bought at the same visit that I bought my bomber vest. So I did try a bunch of different items on, and I just wanted to use this opportunity to run over a few of the other amazing things that have come out and some of the pros and cons and thoughts that I have about these. So one item that I'm quite interested to try and that I haven't tried yet is the mosaic shirt dress, and this has come out this season in a bunch of different colors. So it's come out in a vert green color, a noir color, a blanc color, and in a taupe color. I think this is a really fantastic dress that can be used for any sort of season. You can layer it internally with some extra tops and make it a little bit warmer if it is cool out, and then put some boots with it. Or you can use it on a light summer's day with some sandals just to keep cool. And then you can dress it up by using a leather belt, or it does come with its own fabric removable belt too. And I think that this sort of silhouette appeals to all sorts of ages, and it is very friendly for any sort of body shape. So I think this is really something that will come into my collection later on if I can find it at the store in the right size for me. Now in this garment bag is the item that I purchased, and this is the They make some awesome garment bags, by the way, these guys, which I know don't always come with all the ready-to-wear items, interestingly. I thought they did. However, I've noticed that going to the forums, not everyone does get these garment bags. They usually come with the pricier pieces, but my sales assistant was very nice to provide one for me. And so this is a chain dunk mini skirt. It is in the printed cotton canvas. They also have these felt hangers. You can see it has the Hermes logo on there, and this is the printed cotton canvas. It has front pockets here, two front pockets, a smaller pocket here with a clou de sel engraved palladium plated rivets, so you can see one on each side. They do have a little bit of plastic covering those just to keep them protected as well, so the two here and two in slightly different positions here. And then along the back you can see that the back has this embossed calfskin label on there that says Hermes Paris. This is made in Italy. Last season they did do it in a blue gabier and a marron fauve. I think this one really appealed to me because you can see that the chain dunk motif really sort of, it's there, but it is a little bit more subtle than in the previous versions, and I quite like that. I think this is a really fun skirt to wear. Yes, we are in winter at the moment, but I can't wait to wear this once summer comes. I like what they've done with the chain dunk motif. I really adore this on all their ready to wear items, and I think that I'd love to get this in the dress version too if we find that later on at the store. They also have a Hermes clou de sel button on the back here and the zipper pull along the side as well. So I really am such a fan of the clou de sel buttons, whether they're in the leather or they're in the palladium versions on the ready to wear. I think they are just a really nice touch. I tried this in a slightly larger size, and then in the size that you'll see in the video. The larger size was really too loose and quite baggy around the waist here. So I think that having it slightly fitted, look, that is the style of the mini skirt, and I think that's just something that, you know, you're going to enjoy in summer. I tried on the parka coat, and this has, interestingly, the chain dunk motif on the inside as well, similar to one of the other cashmere coats I did last season. Interestingly, it doesn't show on the website, but it has this double-sided wool, that lovely pattern on the inside. I wish I'd taken a photo on the inside for you to see. It has the clou de sel snap enclosures, and the interior waist has this little drawstring, which is really cool. You can see that I've made it quite fitted around the waist, and this does offset some of the looseness that is in the rest of the jacket, and this is quite clever. I saw on the rack the hooded embroidered jacket. Now the hooded embroidered jacket has a very interesting sort of drape. You can see it's a very sort of asymmetrical look. It is in 100% cashmere. Has these tassels and thread embroidery, and this is related to the Paletro remix scarf that was done a while ago. But I think it's an interesting choice for Hermes to make, because for most people, for 99% of people that don't really understand a lot of the heritage and history of Hermes, it would be really hard for them to recognize and associate this sort of motif with Hermes. So I think it's an interesting choice to make, but perhaps really for the hardcore die-hard fans that would recognize it. So an interesting one, this is made in France. I also saw on the website they've brought back the wool knit jacket, and this is in the noir and in the blanc color. Now, I was really fascinated to see this because it has quite a loud logo for Hermes. They did do this in the past before. I think the length that it is cut to, it can look a little bit matronly, so you really have to pair it with the right sort of outfit and have this right sort of look for it not to look too dressed down. And it does require a fair bit of commitment to caring for wool. So it's 98% virgin wool. You can see that with the stitching lines, you are very prone to pulling and pilling, both being quite visible on this if you didn't care for it properly. So this is really not a piece that you're going to throw around and just run out the door to go to the store. It is one that you're going to have to be quite careful with when you're wearing it. So whether or not this is a great investment piece for the long term, I'm not too sure. It might be one that really requires a lot of care. The equestrian jacket that has come out this year in the grey, white and black, this should be flying off the shelves, I reckon. I mean, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous fit with a fabulous contour into the waist. So beautifully fitted, a very, very classic design. The only concern that I have with this is it has enamel buttons. So the enamel buttons are really just plain enameled buttons. As you know, I'm quite a fan of the Clou de Sel buttons, which have the Hermes engraving on them. And I think that they really should have put this on there with the leather version of that, or even just the plain palladium version would have been nice to dress that up a little bit. But aside from that, I think the cut on this is fabulous. In the Fall/Winter 2025 runway collection, when they did the show, the thing that really struck me the most and really ignited a lot of interest for me was seeing some of the leather detail in the skirts and the dresses. And I've yet to see this come through in the collection that has been released to the public. Now, whether or not Australia is a little bit slower to get some of the pieces and maybe something has trickled out in Europe already, but I really, really, really do hope that this does come to fruition, because some of that leather detailing makes the items just so edgy, so funky, and I really would love Hermes to pull into that new direction and really give their customers a chance to try on some of these funkier versions. They don't just need to belong on a runway. So I was really happy to see this reversible sleeveless jacket that came up on the website. I haven't seen it in store and I would be dying to try this on. So it is in the sheepskin. It's such a cool, edgy nature to it. And this comes in the Marin Fauve. It's a fun piece. It still has classic undertones. You know, it really is a piece that you could wear at any age. I can see someone rocking it as a much older client, but also very, very funky on the younger crowd too. So I think Hermes really needs to trust that we can really carry these funky pieces into our regular wardrobes as well. So looking forward to see what else they're going to release. A couple of pieces that I did try that were from the last season collection was the twin set coat. So this is in the blue noir. This has actually two pieces. So it's a long sleeveless vest and then a bomber jacket on the inside with the palladium zippers. Interestingly, the bomber jacket is quite short. I absolutely adore these long line vests, and I think the fact that the bomber jacket is quite short fits really nicely with this. I do love this long sleeveless vest look, and I don't know, when I wear these sorts of items, it always gives me that Matrix sort of vibe. But I think the fact that this bomber jacket is quite short, it can still be worn on its own, but it really does look best when you're wearing it with that long vest. Now, this is quite a thin, light material. You have to be sort of in between seasons to be wearing this. And it does have a black slit on the back, which I don't have on my picture, but is on the website. Really, really love this. I can see this coming home with me also in the future. It's got the Clou de Sel buttons as well. As you know, I'm a big fan of those. I think this is a piece that would do really well as a classic in your wardrobe. I also tried on the cashmere bomber jacket. It does have the chain dunk motif on the inside. It isn't a reversible jacket, but you can get a little peek of it when the front of the flap opens up. And you really do need to wear this with something tighter fitting. So you can see me trying it on with this skirt here because it is such a loose and generous fit up the top. So you sort of need to balance that with something tighter down the bottom. I do feel that the longer coat version of this might be better value for money. So the longer coat version is 11,500 Australian dollars, whereas the short version is 9,600 Australian dollars. The last item I want to bring up is the equestrian jacket. Now this is just a spectacular piece. I haven't seen it in the store yet. I reckon it's going to be coming home with me for sure. This is in the deerskin leather. It has the clue to sell buttons. Yes, tick, tick, leather. It has those buttons. It would be so easy to maintain because it's in a tougher leather material, and I think that it's something that's much easier to look after than cashmere. Cashmere does make me a little bit nervous. You just don't know how long it's going to last in the long term. I don't know if I'm careful enough to be able to do cashmere, to be honest, even though I do adore the feel of it so much. This has a really, really classic fit. I mean, you just really can't go wrong with one of these equestrian jackets from Hermes. So I feel that this one in the black or in the white, if it ever does come into the store, this is definitely going to be one for me to pick up. There are plenty of other items in the fall-winter 2025 season. What are your favorite pieces? What have you brought home? Please share with me what you've enjoyed so that I can look out for it at the store too and give it a try as well. It has been rather quiet on the luxury vlogging front. I think there's been a lot of factors that everyone's been experiencing with economic downturn and hard times at the moment, but it's so great to have you guys out there listening in and joining in on my channel. So please hit the link and subscribe button as I continue to build up this small channel. It's been great to have you guys here. I'll catch you really soon. Bye.